I was 49 years old when I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was a rough thing. For other men, I have to say, breast cancer is not just for females. You don't lose any of your manhood because you have breast cancer. I'm 6'6", 265 pounds. I'm a big guy. I played every sport, and I had breast cancer, and I'm not embarrassed at all about it. And honestly, I couldn't have been more prepared to have breast cancer, and it's still a shock. I'm a cameraman for a living. I've probably done 100 television stories on breast cancer. I've been in surgeries. I've done training videos, how to use the biopsy tools. I mean, I knew everything there was to know besides being a doctor or a nurse, breast cancer. But when you get that diagnosis, it's shocking. Even when I had a lump on my chest and I pretty much knew what it was because of all the information I've had in the background, it was still a major shock. It changed my life dramatically. The bottom line is when you get breast cancer and you go through the chemotherapy, and it's a very unpleasant thing, and you learn to grab on tight to the things that really matter, and the money and the cars and all those kind of things don't really mean anything. It's your health and your family members and your friends. That's what's the most important thing. And honestly, that's something I'd lost grasp of. I mean, I was more involved in how much money I could make, which one big production I could get. Now it's all about my family, and I work to pay the bills and feed everybody, but it's not my primary focus. It's my family that means the most. And when you lose sight of that, the Lord kind of throws some stumbling blocks, and cancer is a much bigger block to slow you down and take stock of what's most important in your life. I don't know if there's anything different for men, but I do know that I just want to thank and praise all the women in the Breast Cancer Society and all those people who have gone before me that provided resources and counseling and help and friendship. For example, my mother-in-law had breast cancer and had been in remission and came back, and she was struggling on her second round of breast cancer when I was diagnosed. And that dear woman helped me and counseled me and told me what was coming, and it basically made me try to be more of a man to take it as well as she did, because she was so graceful. You never saw her in pain. You never saw her slow down. None of those things. And boy, it knocked me to my knees, and so it was kind of like an example for me to try to strive to live in her shoes, and I couldn't do it. There's just no way I could do it. If you know anybody that has cancer, be a friend, put out a hand. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to be embarrassed. Just walk up and give them a hug. I guarantee anybody who has breast cancer, anybody who has a loss of hair or all their hair gone from going through chemotherapy, they will appreciate your hug. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to be embarrassed. Be their friend. Hug them, let them know that you appreciate them, and it'll make their day better, and it'll make yours. And hopefully someday you won't be in their shoes and need that help too.